This message is for Taurus women. A lot of people don't want people to know the inside track of them, but shit, that nigga ain't who he say he is, but he been playing this part for years. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, a lot of people really is gonna find out nothing no more. And I said, they don't even care. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, shit, we ain't got shit to do with that. And that's our truth. A lot of people want to act like, yeah, they supposed to say this and say that and do this and do that in order to get what? Nothing. I said a lot of people literally is looking like, shit, you ain't did nothing wrong and you ain't got time for nothing either. A lot of y'all Taurus women is getting, you know what, fed up with all this make-believe shit. And I said, yeah, that nigga ain't seen that nigga in forever. And he said, nigga, I ain't gonna take shit from you. And why would I touch anything that you didn't touch? And I said, see, everything happens for a reason, my dear. And God said, his mama then taught him a lot of shit. And I said, we know that too. I said, ain't that the truth? So me, I am a mother and I ain't no mammy. And I ain't never leaving my children out to dry. And I said, don't we know it, boo? I said, even though she feeling this way, she stalking that nigga. I said, she ain't stalking him. She making sure he is okay and everything is smooth. And I said, don't we know it, boo? So grandma said, y'all gonna transition and do this and do that and everything. And that nigga looking like, damn. He ain't even pissed. But that bitch said, shit, let me get this taken care of because that bitch is tired. I said, I know this bitch been through everything. Shit. Can we not talk about it? And I said, unbeknownst to everybody else, they think that is what? Okay to know that someone is suffering and don't help and assist? I said, nigga, where's all the millions at that you had, nigga? This nigga looking like shit. He ain't got what he need today, tomorrow, and next week and forevermore. And God said, that's what they don't even know yet. A lot of people think that they got these secret bank accounts and there's so many people that's playing broke. But shit, that nigga got what it takes to do a lot of things, but he just never ever implemented. And I said, yeah, it sound like that nigga. See, unfortunately. And he's saying, you know what? I think we are what you say we are, and that could be catastrophic because you know what? Y'all is not up to par no more. Damn.